Hey guys, Mike here from Panther Hollow Sporting Optics. And we are at the end of another year. It's almost Christmas time. And we'll be stepping into 2023 here before too long. So, kind of a quick recap of what I've been doing this year. I've been shooting a lot of F-Class stuff. This is my F-Class rifle. It's 6GT, our F-Class is 600 yards. And if you've never shot a 600 yard F-Class, it's kind of, well, you're playing yourself. I mean, there's going to be shooters that are better and there's going to be shooters that are worse than you. And the big thing is watching the wind and knowing your caliber. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, the majority of the guys I shoot with shoot 6-dasher or 6BRA or some variant of. Okay, there's hardly any 6GTs. I haven't seen 6 Creedmoor and 6x47 Lapuas, 6 5x47 Lapuas. All of those calibers, well, not only the caliber but the cartridges have potential at any point in time to win a match. Okay, it just so happens that this particular setup right here has been doing very well for me. Now this is a 6GT. I chose to shoot 6GT because I've been shooting 6GT for quite a long time, ever since it very first came out. I have a lot of experience with this cartridge, and I didn't want to change to another cartridge and have to relearn it. We'd been shooting it, the GT in our golf ball matches, had done some PRS stuff with it, and I thought it would be a good fit for F-Class. Now, I'm not seeing hardly any 6GTs in F-Class other than what me and the guys I shoot with that are shooting. I think there's 5 of us now that are shooting 6GT, and we're all doing very well. This particular gun right here is a foundation stock Defiance Action. It's got a benchmark 1.10 bull barrel, no contour. I'm running a 2-chamber Hellfire brake on the end of it. So I shoot in the Varmint Tactical class, okay? I do have a Mirage shield on here. This helps especially when you're running a high power scope. Bipods are kind of there's a whole bunch of different choices of bipods out there. If I had my choice, I'd like to have a Joypod, but I don't have a Joypod. They're very hard to get. So I'm running just a good old Accutech bipod. Something nice and heavy. When you see the ski feet on here that surf good on the carpet. Okay guys, out of all the emails I get, the most emails I get is about my scope. Okay, this is a March X. This is a Highmaster 10-60. The reticle is an F-Class reticle. It's just a straight plex with a circle around it. Not very many holdover points or hold off points. I really like this reticle. Now, since I have changed and went to a true F-Class scope, I have only participated in 1 match that I had not placed with this setup, okay? And I've never placed third, it's always first or second. That's not bragging at all. I'm just saying that that's that optical advantage that I've talked about in other videos. Before this, I was running a 25 power and a 30 power. I tried several different optics before I committed myself to buying a true F-Class scope. Now, I could have bought several other scopes this price range and down. But for what I wanted and from what I had read with everybody else's experience, because that's what you look at as reviews, this scope here looked as though it was very, very hard to compete with. So I went ahead and chose the March scope. There's nobody at that shoot at our matches that is running a March, and it's also nice to be a little different. I mean, you see a lot of night forces, you see a lot of tangents, you see a lot of different scopes. I was very happy to see that I'm the only one running a March right now, And that's just me wanting to be different, okay? Now, I do get a lot of questions about how I load for the 6GT for F-Class matches. Now, there's several guys that watch my videos that go to our club. And to keep that competitive edge, I'm just going to show you the powders that I load with, okay? So, IMR 4350, I've got a load for it. This is BLC2. This works very, very well with A-tips. Winchester 6.5 stay ball. And we have Shooter's World Precision. Then down there on the end, we've got good old-fashioned Varget. On the end here, an H4350. There are a couple, 2 or 3 other powders that I don't have on the table to show you, so we're just going to stick with these powders right here. Now, we have tested all these powders with 115 burgers all the way down to 105s. Don't run anything really smaller than a 105 bullet. Hornady bullets work really well, especially out of a 7.5 twist barrel. Okay, this is a 1 7/2 twist barrel. Trying to look over here to see what else. Mainly 105s, 108s, 109s, that's burgers and Hornadies, and then 115 burgers, okay? All of those bullets work really well, and we've had a lot of good luck with them. Now, what I do differently than anybody else is I gather my numbers, and you guys might do this, and you might know somebody that does it this way, but I'm telling you how I do it. I gather my numbers at 100 yards with my chrono. I'm looking for some tight numbers, SDs, and I don't really look at SDs as much. I look at extreme spreads. I want my extreme spreads to be, 10 or under, and sometimes that's hard to do. So it depends on your primer powder combination and your bullet, neck tension, and all that other stuff. Now, I've learned a lot about neck tension, and I've learned a lot about powder primer combinations, okay? So the competitive edge in which I'm speaking of is those powder primer combinations, okay? That takes a lot of time and you guys know about reloading. That takes a lot of time. Understanding what's going on, putting all that stuff together, and then making it happen at a match, actually winning, okay? So this last match we participated in, I say we, me and this rifle, participated in, I shot a perfect score. And again, that's not bragging, I'm just saying that is a combination of hard work paying off, okay? With different loads and different bullets, different powders, different primers, different seating depths, different neck tensions, and so on and so forth. I think I have found the combo that this barrel really likes. The last 3 times I run that combo, I have placed, and this last time being a perfect score. So I will throw up some pictures of the targets and the score sheet, and a lot of guys say, well, who are you shooting against in these matches? Well, we have a lot of good shooters at our clubs. As I'm sure there's a lot of good shooters across the country and a lot of other clubs, and ours club is not any different. We have a lot of great shooters. I tied for first overall. That's open, FTR, and Varmint Tactical, okay? My score was as high as the highest guy on the score sheet, okay? So we tied for first overall. Now, they're using a mechanical rest and a great big bag in the rear, basically a fixed sandbag. I use a fixed sandbag and a bipod. So what I got to do different than what they've got to do is my up and down is based on I'm squeezing the ears of that bag, okay? Their up and down is based off them moving their joy pod around or that joystick around on a rest, okay? Much more precision that way. So to me, that kind of speaks volumes to me as what this rifle may be capable of, okay? If it was in that perfect scenario in a precision rest. Now, what could it do in that scenario? I am now working on a 6 GT open gun, and I do have a precision rest, and I have very, very high hopes for that piece of equipment. That scope, if it does outperform this rifle, this scope here will be going on that rifle, and we'll be shooting it more in those types of in the open class. So I got a few questions here I want to cover. Eugene from Canada, man, I thank you for watching my videos. Yes, we use range flags. We have to have our bolt open. Kind of some of the rules. I do use just a regular P-mag. I don't have a standard magazine that I drop the round on top of and push it in. I'm sorry, a single shot magazine. Gene was asking questions about the types of mag we use, if I feed one at a time or if I feed through the magazine. Now, to me, guys, I want to give the rifle all the potential it has for accuracy, so I feed one at a time. Traditional F-class rifles are single shot, and you will find that there's a lot of those. If you go to a match, you'll walk the line, you'll see that most guys that are participating in F-class are shooting single shot rifles. And that's because they don't want to mess up anything, the bullet feeding through the magazine. They don't want to mar up anything. They want every round to be pristine and every round to be the same. They don't want any kind of seating depth issues from feeding out of a magazine or anything like that, okay? I hope that answers your question, man. Most F-class rifles are single shot. Now, there are guys that shoot in our class that do feed from the magazine. This is a varmint tactical rifle, okay? That being said, I don't plan on ever feeding through the magazine. I always plan to single shot this rifle unless I shoot a PRS match with it. That's kind of the cool thing about this rifle. Take the scope off, it can be a PRS setup very easily. It'd be very, very hard to shoot a PRS match with this scope. It's just too much scope, okay? All right, who else do we got here? We got JJ. JJ did not tell me where he was from. He just had a question about the March FX Highmaster. This is a 34 millimeter tube. It has the F-class style circle reticle with the T-bar in it. I do not have any shoot-through footage of this scope yet. I've literally not had the time to do it. JJ, that's coming. I know you're in the market for a March scope, and if it's an F-class scope, I can tell you that this was one of the best decisions I have made for me to start placing higher in matches. I think the combination of this and also practicing at 300 yards that's the secret sauce right there. Guys, I only gather numbers at 100 yards. I could care less really what the groups look like at 100, as long as the numbers are good. I care what my groups look like at 300. Okay, if I can get 1 inch or under at 300 yards, you can be very competitive at a match. But I'm not talking about one cherry-picked group at 300 yards. I'm talking about consecutive 1 inch groups at 300 yards. That does it time and time and time again. It doesn't do it once out of 10. It does it 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10. That's what I'm looking for, okay? So if I'm getting those groups at 300, then I feel comfortable enough in the load to take it to a 600 yard match and know that the homework that I've done could put me in a position to win first, second, or third, okay, depending on my job of reading the wind, so on and so forth, okay? JJ, I hope that answered your question about the scope. I threw a little bit extra in there for you because you're asking me about gathering data. I gather my data at 300 yards, okay? 100 yards, again, is simply to gather numbers. I do look at the groups somewhat, but I really don't care what the groups look like until I get to 300. That's just me. Other guys may do it differently, but that's what I do, okay? All right. Kind of caught myself rambling there, so I cut out the end of that. It's very easy to make these videos too long, okay? So, guys, I hope you liked the video. Just some basic information on this gun, this 6GT that I'm running in F-class. If you have any other questions about this rifle or any rifle you see on any of my videos, you can drop me a comment in the comment section. You can email me at pantherhollow@mail.com. You can get a hold of me on Facebook, Panther Hollow on Facebook. You can PM me. If need to, we can have a phone conversation. I've talked to a lot of guys about different gun builds that they're doing for hunting and competition, caliber choice, case cartridge choice, so on and so forth. Okay, guys. I spend a lot of time at the reloading bench gathering data, and I know sometimes that data is hard to come by when you're doing it fresh and new. So I appreciate you. Have a great Christmas, and we'll see you in the next video.